The second trailer for Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire seems to have completely taken the internet by storm. And I personally believe it fully deserves all the love and attention it is getting because the trailer feels like a dream come true for Godzilla and Monsterverse fans in general. It is amazing to witness how the Monsterverse started with a rather dark and realistic monster movie like Godzilla 2014 and how it is gradually entering into the crazy science fiction fantastical kind of a setting. This movie honestly looks like it is going to take the Monsterverse into a whole new territory, which is why it is going to be very important for the franchise going forward. In this video, we are going to analyze and discuss some of the biggest takeaways and details from the second trailer, which not only gives us some really interesting details about the storyline of the movie, but it also reveals a lot of information about the future of the Monsterverse going forward. So, this video is going to be very interesting. Before starting, however, I just want you guys to spend 1 second of your time to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, because that is truly the only thing that motivates me to work harder and to bring you more such awesome contents. Okay, without wasting any more time, let us dive right into the subject of this video. The first big revelation is the cameo of our very own Queen of the Monsters, Mothra, which is now officially confirmed courtesy of the second trailer. I have actually informed several times on my channel that Mothra is going to play a major role in Godzilla x Kong, but it was never actually confirmed. But, now I am really glad and proud to say that my reports were absolutely 100% correct. During the trailer we see a sequence where little Gia has some kind of a vision where she senses something really terrible is about to happen, and we actually get to see glimpses of a city getting destroyed by titans. During her vision, we also get a couple of shots of Titan Shimo, which I am going to talk about later in the video. Most importantly, we can see a blurry look at a very familiar Titan with a giant pair of wings in her eyes. Yes, this is none other than our very own Queen of the Monsters, Mothra. According to reports from a few reliable insiders, Mothra is in fact going to play a significant role in the events of the movie. In one of the scenes from the trailer, we see Godzilla trying to attack Kong with his newly upgraded Heat Blast. This is most likely going to be the first interaction between these two iconic titans after the events of GVK. Now, it is said that this scene is where Mothra actually comes into the picture. Mothra is reportedly going to play the role of a mediator between Godzilla and Kong and help the two titans put their differences aside to join hands to fight Scar King and his army. I know some of you may be a little confused, but do not worry because I am going to come back to explain this point in a little more detail later in the video. For now, you just need to know that Mothra is going to act like a bonding force between the Big G and the King of Skull Island, which would be pretty cool to see actually. It is also said that Mothra is going to play a huge role in the final battle, where we might actually see her make use of some of her most classic abilities and powers, which would be a callback to the Toho Kaiju movies. The next big talking point about the trailer is that it has made it very clear that a huge portion of this movie is going to take place inside the Hollow Earth. We see a number of absolutely gorgeous looking and highly radioactive locations within the Hollow Earth, which indicates that a huge portion of the movie's runtime is going to be set within this wonderful world below our feet. And this is something I have been talking about for quite a while on my channel. In GVK we got a first-hand introduction to this whole new radioactive ecosystem beneath our feet. This movie I believe is going to go a step further and explain a lot of mysteries surrounding the existence of the Hollow Earth. In the trailer, we see that Monarch has heavily upgraded their Hollow Earth aerial vehicle, which actually looks pretty awesome and sleek by the way. We also get a decent number of shots of the human civilization there. They actually are said to be related by blood to the same group of people who reside in Skull Island, better known as the EV tribe. Since Gia is also a member of the same tribe, I believe she is going to act like a communication bridge between Monarch and the EV tribe. Speaking of Gia, it brings me to my next point, which is actually pretty interesting. Gia interestingly also has the ability to communicate with Titans to some degree, which can be seen in this particular shot where she is seen having a wholesome and adorable moment with Kong. We also got to see a couple of similar interactions between the two in GVK as well. The interesting part to notice here is that Kong looks visibly exhausted and one of his arms actually look heavily bruised, which means this scene most likely takes place after his epic fight with Scar King, a small part of which we luckily did get to see in the second trailer. From my observation of the two trailers, Kong is not going to be the only Titan to interact with Gia. In the first trailer we saw a sequence where we see Gia, Steven, Rhonda and Bernie arrive at a location which looks like some kind of a Hollow Earth temple. It is literally glowing up with these pink radiations, and most importantly, at this particular area, we see a giant set of stairs. And if we look at this particular area carefully, we can see the outline of a giant creature with a pair of massive oversized wings. In the very next shot, we see Gia actually climbing the stairs, and when she reaches the top, she seems to be reaching out to someone. In the second trailer, we see what looks like an extension of that same scene. We can see Gia raising her hand, and right in front of her, it looks like some kind of a creature is emerging out of the intense golden radiations that surrounds him. The color and tone of these radiations is very similar to this particular shot of Mothra, which can be seen in Gia's eyes. So, the most likely scenario according to my assessment is that this particular creature is none other than Mothra hibernating. After Gia reaches the top of the stairs, Mothra most likely comes out of hibernation, which is suggested by this particular shot right here. We can hear Dr. Andrews say several times in the trailer that Kong is not going to be able to fight Scar King on his own, and they believe that he is going to need Godzilla's help to even the odds. Gia, according to me, is trying to give Mothra the message that Kong is injured and needs Godzilla's help to fight Scar King and Titan Shimo. Then we come back to this scene once again, which is probably going to be the first face-off between Godzilla and Kong. And unfortunately, it looks like the two are going to have some kind of a misunderstanding, which is evident from this shot of Godzilla trying to attack Kong with his new heat blast. This fight most likely is going to end with Mothra interrupting and trying to calm down the situation between the two iconic titans, which I believe would be pretty awesome to witness on the big screen. Coming back to Gia, I think she is going to end up being a huge character within the franchise going forward. She is literally the only connection that the humans on the surface have with the Hollow Earth creatures. The next point I want to address is Godzilla's new look from the trailer. It is no secret anymore that Godzilla is going to go through a major evolution and power upgrade through the course of the movie, which is evident from this new avatar. But in the second trailer, we get to see yet another version of him, which you can see on your screens currently. This version of Godzilla almost gives us the feeling that his body is generating electrical energy, which looks pretty awesome, to be honest. In this particular shot, we see this new version of the Big G forcing out a huge wave of nuclear energy. If you focus and zoom in on this particular area right here, we can see what looks like some kind of a thermonuclear electrical power plant. At this point, I want to warn my viewers that I am now going to enter into a bit of a spoiler territory. So, those who do not wish to get spoiled can leave the video. With that little warning out of the way, let us get back to the main subject of this video once again. I am now going to talk about a particular rumor that has been addressed by a number of reliable insiders. It is said that the movie would feature the cameo of a titan called Tiamat, which is basically a giant oversized serpentine sea monster who has the ability to feed on and absorb electrical energy. Tiamat can also discharge the same amount of energy at such a high temperature that it can literally boil and evaporate an entire ocean. So, what might happen according to me is that Tiamat might arrive at the electrical power plant to absorb energy. For some reason, maybe to protect the humans living in the region or to protect the aquatic ecosystem, Godzilla is going to attack and probably kill Tiamat. Then he would most likely absorb all the energy stored within his body, which is basically why he is going to end up looking like this. The next point which I intend to cover is probably something which can be considered the biggest mystery as well as the main selling point of the movie. Yes, you are right. I am talking about none other than the father of all titans, Shimo himself. Although we did not get a definitive look at Shimo at any point during the trailer, but we luckily did get a couple of blurry shots which revealed a ton of interesting details about the character. For those who are new on my channel, let me tell you that Shimo is called the father of all titans because according to several reports, he is believed to be the very first titan who was the reason behind the creation of the Hollow Earth itself. He is also believed to be the ancestor of every single titan within the monsterverse. Shimo is also believed to be responsible for causing the first ice age using his frostbite, which we in fact did get to see in this particular shot from the trailer. In this frame, we get to see an overhead look of Shimo where he is apparently fighting Godzilla. What is so interesting about this shot is that it gives us an idea of how massive Shimo actually is. You can clearly see the size difference between the Big G and Shimo, which is astonishing to say the least. Now, I want you to focus right here where we can actually see his face, which by the way looks pretty adorable. He almost looks like a giant oversized four-legged shark with a massive elongated tail. I believe Legendary Studios definitely has big plans for Shimo, and this movie is not going to be just a one-off appearance for him. I say this because people are already showing huge interest in the character despite the fact that we do not even have a proper first look, as well as the fact that this character is fully created and owned by Legendary Studios, unlike Godzilla or Mothra, whose rights have been purchased by Legendary Studios from Toho. So, with Shimo, they can be a lot more flexible and do whatever they want without having to worry anything about copyright issues. According to reports, Scar King is said to be the one who would mind control Shimo using a certain radioactive hollow earth crystal. As a matter of fact, we did get a glimpse of this crystal during his battle with Kong. When he swings his whip, we can clearly see something very interesting at the tip, which is in fact the crystal I am talking about. The job of this crystal is not just to inflict more damage on his opponents, but this is in fact what enables him to mind control Titan Shimo. So, that brings me to the last and final point, which is Kong's cyborg arm, which actually reminds me of Bumblebee from Transformers. Let me inform you that the Beast Glove is way more than just a mere mechanical arm brace to support his injured arm. According to several credible reports, it in fact is going to provide Kong with a wide range of abilities, like ability to generate more power in his punches, shock absorption, and ability to generate a huge blast of electricity. Yes, you heard it right. This gauntlet can actually let out a high-energy beam of electricity, which is basically a throwback to the 1962 King Kong vs. Godzilla movie. I think the Beast Glove will give Kong some kind of a defense against Shimo's frostbite. So, that is all the details I had to share today. After watching the second trailer, I absolutely cannot wait for the release of this amazing movie. I believe this movie seriously has the potential to become the most insane and crazy monster movie made in the history of cinema. With that, I end my video at this point. Do let me know your thoughts about all these details in the comments down below. And please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.